Let's try that again. Hi. Oh shit, humans, hi. All right, I got a shitload of things to talk about in a short amount of time. Here's what I'm going to do. I didn't understand any of that accent, man. I love Matt. I have no idea what that cat said. And I think it's going to be the same for you now. I'm going to show a QR code at the very end. I'll give you all my decks, but I got a shit ton to talk about because here's what's up, man. There are no passengers on Spaceship Earth. We are all crew. If you've just entered this world as an entrepreneur, a marketer, a brand, a person on planet Earth, shit's hard. And the reality is, and I love this quote, it's hard work. So if anybody today or yesterday tells you it's easy, bullshit. And here's the reality. We're at the cusp of the fourth industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution was steam, along came electricity, and now computing. The fourth, as I've been saying for 10 years, is intelligence. And intelligence is human and otherwise. So let's get cracking. Human truth, for real. If it can be automated, guess what? It will be automated. So if you're sitting there going, hey, I think my gig could be done better with the machine, then you might want to find another gig because the machine is going to take your job, and it already is. And I'm going to tell you from a data point of one with my experience. Does anybody in the audience know what the hell this is? Any designers in here? Put your hand up. Holy shit, way too young. You do not know what this is. This is called Pantone squeaky markers. This is how we used to design stuff, you little shits. And what I mean by that is that, look, man, I grew up in the industry, Pantone markers, bleed-proof paper, bromides, Letraset. That shit's gone. I used to roll around town with a fishing tackle box full of amazing tools. But when I graduated, people said, Shingy, design's dead, dude. I'm like, whoa, what? Anybody in here believe design is dead? If you can, please get up and leave. Because it is the hottest industry on planet Earth, dude, for real. And look, the reality is, this was the AI of my industry. Does anybody in here know what DTP is? Desktop publishing. Whatever else you were saying in Confusion World over here, no. Desktop publishing was for real, dude. This was the AI of my generation. People are like, dude, design is dead. And it took like 3 years for the industry to bounce back because the reality was they stuffed me in the corner and said, learn that. Like, what the hell is that? I said, that's a computer, Shingy. Like wait, what? I'm meant to design on that thing? They said, yeah. And that's the software of inspiration. Oldest bloody freehand. Google that shit. And what's amazing about this? Look, when you guys complain about all the shit you can do on your phone this big with that high resolution, screw you. That was my generation, man. And some of you might relate to this, though. Who had one of these when you grew up? Oh, and we're back. Remember how amazing that was? Your hand is so deliciously up. It's like, hell yeah, flip phone. Anybody in here buy a ringtone? Oh, yeah. Do you remember what you spent? You, lady in the blue jacket. You remember what you spent on a ringtone back in the day? 99. Cheap ass, man. Most of us are like $2.99. You probably bought Who Let the Dogs Out or some shit like that. The reality is, when you've got a flip phone, that was ambition. Today, I get a big old clunky phone. I'm like, oh, God, productivity goes down. But here's the reality. 2006, anybody can tell me how big this industry was? Ringtone industry. Anybody? Check this shit out, man. $6 billion. Yeah, oh my goodness. 2007, the iPhone came out. If I hear a notification right now, I freak out. It's amazing how culturally we've changed. I get pitched every single day from new startups, man. They're like, Shingy, you got to check what we're up to. Like, great, show me. This is the formula. I get it every single day. What's the number one thing that's going to make you successful? Shout it out. And please, God, don't say your team. Thank you. No. It's timing. And the reality is, this is the perfect time for what we're doing. Why? Here's what happens. Too many people play around in their category. What they don't do is look at the culture that sits beside it. What are people consuming? The food they're enjoying, the podcasts they're listening to, the music that inspires them, the games they're hanging out with, the clothes that makes them feel incredible. That is where culture happens, and it butts up against a category, and right in the middle of that bum crack is disruption. And the reality is this, my friends. I get anxious when I see this turn up. Don't you? And it's happening on every single platform. I fire up whatever it is, some interpretation, this dazzling little piece of clip art. And I know, man, it's going to be shitty. Because we are experimenting in real time. It's a bit like the 90s again, all over. And I'm loving that, but I'm also very anxious about it. And so are you. I can't believe how many people search on AI on Google. By the way, why don't you use AI to search on AI? But whatever, we're here, man, humans, they're crazy. There's 4.5 billion searches on Google just on AI. And then the second most search term, are AI tools useful? Oh yeah, 1 point something billion of us, check that out. Yes, they are. And I'm not expecting you to be able to read this. But here are just some of the things I use AI for, man. It is dope. And I will give you a QR code, as I said, and 45 different tools that I've hand-reviewed, so you don't have to go through that painstaking bullshit, and why I think they're useful. But it is helpful, yes. But the reality is, you cannot stop the evolution of AI. It's happening with or without your permission. Just embrace it. But I tell you what you can do. You can revolutionize the human intelligence. And that's what I'm here for, dude. The 8 billion people on planet Earth, 50% of them never known life without the internet. I'm here for that. But I'm not here to tell you about prompts. AI can tell you about prompts, that's awesome. So if you're looking for prompts, speak to another cat, not me. I'm here to see where AI can go. There are companies looking at your data to see whether they can help you mind read. How dope is that? That is where it's at. But here's the reality of it all. There's just something about this place. If we met a couple of years ago, we wouldn't have talked about AI like we do today. But look at it. Back in '96, IBM was beating the #1 chess player in the world. '96. Where have you been for 20 years? We've stopped listening. And here's the problem. We talk about a world of data. God bless. Remember if we met about 5, 6, 7 years ago, you guys would have said, big data, big data, big data. We took that out back and sent it to pasture. It's not about big data. It's about big data for little decisions. And when you combine that with intelligence, we end up with stuff that's incredible. But we laugh at it. We think that, AI is dystopian. You end up with this shit.
And more secret things. Need delivery? Pizzas come fast. Knock, knock, who's there? Pizza magic. Eat pepperoni hug spot pizza. Your tummy say thank you. Your mouth say, Pepperoni hug spot. It's like family, but with more cheese.
AI-generated experiences. We've all seen these, right? Dystopian. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. But it takes you seconds to use AI to build memes. Look at this. It took me 12 seconds to make this. And that's just an example of using my own logo. That looks like me today, by the way. I'm a shadow of my former self. You guys know how to party in Alabama, dude. Whew. I walk over to that VIP reception last night. Who was there last night? Yeah, that's a hot house. Don't woo that shit. That is hot as hell. But the way they pour drinks, man, we call them an academic pour. I'm here for that. You have to, sip the tippy top of that thing. So that was next level. So thanks. That was a great start to my hell today. But the reality is, AI is phenomenal. Here's a great example of it being used in the wild, and it's powerful. There's no audio on this.
World's biggest movie star, their brand ambassador.
Here's what I want to tell you about. So this is the world's largest movie star. And what they've done is scanned his face, taken his voice, and created thousands of hyper-local commercials that he would never, ever want to shoot or never could afford to. This is AI in the wild done well. Not the dystopian bullshit I just showed you, something like this. Use AI intelligently to make it an amazing moment. All right, so if we move on from that, trust is the #1 challenge that we have in our industry. Trust. You don't trust me, I don't trust you, I don't trust religion, I don't trust politics anymore. Trust, 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 we're busted. And here's what's the reality. Technology, yes, has changed our behavior, but what it hasn't done is changed our needs. Our needs are rooted in our DNA as humans. Amazing. But if we met as the connected human about 2014, this was me. Hyper-connected, lots of gadgets. This was the character that I was. I'm the opposite of this today. The reality is, there's something incredible about looking back to go forward. Nostalgia is a big deal. Anybody here have a record player? Oh, look at those hands. Oh, we're hip. Anybody bought a LP in the last 30 days? Oh, awesome. What sort of price do you pay, young lady, for that LP? Oh, $50. Oh, rich ass. There's a Taylor Swift fan right here, dude. But here's what's up. This is a $2 billion industry. And if you flip it around, who here has an analog camera? Yeah, look at those hands go up. Brother, I feel you. If I walk around Alabama, if I walk around Birmingham, there's a bunch of hipster doofuses here, dude, with cameras. And it's phenomenal because it's a big industry. It's almost $4 billion. There's something about that comfort for us. One of the trending apps of last year was an app that turns your iPhone into a goddamn iPod. It is ironic about what we want in these visceral experiences. We're just looking for joy in the little things. And one of those joys is the Internet of Everything. And I just want to talk about this category because it really speaks to AI. There's 127 products launched per second in this category. And they look like this. This is a teddy bear a kid can hold, reads its biometric, tell you how sick it is before you take it to hospital. You've got this, a toothbrush that brushes all your teeth all at the same time, because we've been wasting about 3 minutes apparently, all powered by AI. You've got this. This is connected Tupperware coming out of Chicago. You take all your groceries, put them in these containers, and it starts pinging you the best use-by date so you don't waste all that agriculture. But I roll old school, man. I like to buy bags of spinach and just watch that shit rot over 3 days or so. That's the way I roll. You've got mirrors that can read your face and analyze how rubbish you look. But I don't need a mirror for that, so whatever, fuck you. And then you've also got these sort of things. Temporary tattoos that you can wear. This is AI-generated. Temporary tech, I call this. You've got interruptive tech. These are bridges between your laptop and your cell phone. You've got this RFID chippable tattoo brought to you by MIT. So I can do in my skin over 2 weeks what you normally need a screen and a computer to do. Nuts. You've got sunglasses that have sound bars in them. And the idea of this is as I'm walking downtown, I can turn right, and that would be the discount I'm looking for. That is temporary tech, and that is augmented awareness. Amazing. Sound objects now that are designed to be able to allow you to listen to objects as opposed to see them. You've got wearables. There's 600 of them. The number one category is fitness. They look amazing, but these are supercomputers that look analog. There's something about analog that we like. This is a Braille watch that helps people navigate streets when they're sight impaired. This is a shockable wearable that will just shock you if you do something you said you're not going to do, which is something I could have done with last night, but whatever, dude. A lot of women don't wear tech because it doesn't fit their vibe, so this is something we can change color of. Pretty amazing, right? So the reality is, this is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. This is a 3D dress called the gaze. This will morph and change based on your biometrics. So as I wear this, it'll determine whether I'm going to attract or distract the person standing in front of me, and it grows accordingly. Amazing. And creepy as hell. Metaverse. What happened to that? If we met last year, that's all you'd want to talk about. It's just immersive technologies. And the reality is, it's not new. Blockchain, old, old, old. Roblox, old. Bitcoin, old. NFTs, old. Fortnite, old. But in games, you can do amazing things like this. Ariana Grande in Fortnite. A little bit of audio would be amazing. So this is her launching a music. And it looks like this. And why is that amazing? Well, the reality is there are 3 billion simultaneous gamers per week. But then people go and build digital experiences like this. Please do not make something in the real world look worse in the digital world. This is just a really shitty experience, my friend. But virtual reality, the promise of this is amazing. The new technology has interlaced biometrics built into it, and it knows the difference between you laughing and me crying. And it pivots the content, but it's incredibly expensive. That's why I prefer to watch people with the goggles on today, because the content in there is not great. But the idea of choosing your own adventure is for real. It is coming.
Good job.
If you want to know where VR is alive and well, it hangs out in Asia. This is an example of a cafe you can go into and you can have a schoolgirl feed you candy if that's your bent. Because, you know, humans are scumbags. And then you've got this sort of thing. You've got technology coming out of China that brings the physical and the digital world together in these magic mirror experiences. $30. It's not an $800 smartphone, but it's a way to bring physical and digital together. And look, the reality is all of what I just talked to you is not a destination. Don't wait for this to come. It's a mindset. And I love this vibe in this city particularly because your mindset is high. Your vibration is high around this stuff. Everything now has built-in intelligence. All that I just showcased has built-in intelligence. And if you ask yourself, so what? Good question. We grew up in the world of cinema and then TV and then mobile phones and now maybe wearables or who knows, invisible tech, so good luck. Just kidding. The reality is this whole industry is based on 3 emotions. It's sight, sound, and motion. To do what? Create emotion. Why? 75% of purchase decisions are made emotionally. We sell to the heart to justify to the head. And here's the reality. I'm from Australia, if you haven't been able to tell. That's my country. That's my town. That's the house I grew up in. That's my family. I'm one of 10 kids, man. 12 people, 2-bedroom house, and a shit ton of therapy. We can talk about it at the block party, but I can tell you this, Chinese Catholics, we are unstoppable, dude. But I am 17 when I bought my first car. I'm of the generation That freedom, independence, and self-expression came at 17. But today, kids are born connected. 37% of children under the age of 2 are born connected. Give them analog, they just think that shit's broken. And it's incredible because we will not be able to stuff the genie back in the bottle. But what we can do, my friends, is think about this. The generation you need to talk about is alpha. There's 2.8 million of them born per week, and they want to be called founders, these little shits. But what's amazing to me is it's no longer consumers consuming content. Those days are well over, my friends. We have to worry about this, the creator, the critic, and the curator of experiences, the Slash generation. These people, you little bastards that are this. It's incredible what happens when we put the creator mindset on. And they love in real life experiences. Why? Because we dick around in our phones about 1,000 times a day and it's woeful. Because putting it down and enjoying life is what's important, because it takes 2 of us to fub, which is horrendous. So the world is overwhelming. You're hit with 1,500 media messages per day, then it's underwhelming because you can't find what you're looking for. One of the largest contributors to stress today is media overload. So the shit you're producing on behalf of the brand you represent is stressing people out and killing them. Just kidding. Ish. So don't worry about the attention economy. That is over. Worry about the intention. As soon as I do this and open my phone and engage, like this kid, that is an intention. Very, very different. The number one problem we have in our industry is ad blocking. Raise your hand if you have one. Oh my God. And you're part of the industry, it's a problem, and look how proud this man was when his hand went up. Yes, dude. There's like 1 billion of them installed. That's the problem. So I grew up in an industry that was little content, big ads, and now it's big content, little ads. And here's what's up. In 2022, $16 billion was the entire content marketing budget globally. It's estimated to be $500 billion in 2026, which is close. But the job is to inspire, obviously, to educate and inform through entertainment. And entertainment means that everything is now an ad. And look, how do you be better than machine? Think about this. You have to create culture. If nothing else in this presentation, learn to understand that creating culture is important. But there are 3 things you need to worry about. Is it authentic to your brand? Do you solve a problem? And is it unique? If so, you have permission to do that. So it's no longer about facts. We know that from the debate last night. It's about feeling. It's no longer about authority. It is only about affinity. Stand beside people. No longer about consumer. I already said it's about the creator. So what's hot? I leave you with this. Instead of making people want stuff, make stuff that people want. The number one ingredient that makes anything contagious in this world is surprise. Surprise the shit out of people. My favorite quote on planet Earth is by Katharine Hepburn. If you obey all the rules, you miss all the goddamn fun. And isn't that why we became creatives? God bless, guys. Take care.